Can you spot heart disease in toddlers?
A new study out of Toronto shows early indicators can be found in children as young as a year old. Here's our health reporter, Pauline Chan, with the details.
Well, Ken and Ashley, heart disease doesn't usually show up in people until they're in their 50s or so, but blocked arteries can show up in teenagers as well. So being able to spot the problem early on may help save lives. Heart disease accounts for almost 30% of all deaths in Canada, just under 70,000 deaths annually, according to the Heart and Stroke Foundation. So detecting cardiovascular disease early is key. And now Toronto researchers have found that the earliest signs of heart disease can be found in toddlers and children under the age of 6. The study by St. Michael's Hospital and the Hospital for Sick Children looked at thousands of children through the Target program, which follows children's health through their regular visits to the pediatrician. It found that low levels of vitamin D were associated with high levels of LDL, or the bad cholesterol that clogs arteries.
We found that for each increase in vitamin D levels, cholesterol levels also were reduced. So there was an association between vitamin D and cholesterol levels in very young children.
Dr. Catherine Birkin says family physicians can play a key role in recognizing which children are vulnerable to life-threatening diseases later in life.
We know that adults with low vitamin D have an increased risk of heart disease and diabetes.
Birkin hopes finding these early indicators will allow physicians and parents to adopt methods of correcting the LDL increase before it turns into cardiovascular conditions like atherosclerosis or blocked arteries.
Cardiovascular disease and diabetes typically develop as children age into adults. What we'd like to do is to be able to identify children quite early on in order to improve their health and develop interventions to prevent cardiovascular disease and diabetes.
Increasing exercise levels and improving diet are the most effective means of preventing heart disease, especially in young children. And the researchers found cow's milk fortified with vitamin D was the main source of vitamin D in the children's diet. Just over half the children also took vitamin D supplements. With today's Lifetime, I'm Pauline Chan.